Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in this video I've got two replays for you. One is reviewing the Hydra, which is the Crimson tank, and the other one's going to be reviewing the Earthshaker, which is a Cold Steel tank. Both of these are currently available at the moment in the store. So without further ado, I thought we'd look at the Hydra first. So looking at some of the stats, you can see top forward speed is 38 kilometers per hour, top reverse speed of 14. You have 1550 hit points with 388 meters of concealment and a 416 meter view range. By the way, this is how I've got my it's based on my setup. The gun that we are running is 122mm and it has 6 degrees of gun depression. You've got 10.59 second reload time. You've got accuracy at 0.37 meters with accuracy during movement at 2.27. Aim time of just over 3 seconds. You have AP and APCR on your ammo types, and they do 440 damage with 225 millimeters penetration on your standard, with 265 on your premium rounds. Good shell velocity at 1000 and then 1250 on your premium. Now you'll notice the Crimson tanks have ridiculously good silver earning potentials at 175%, one of the best in the game. Now looking at the armor, you can see it's not too bad. The turret armor, hull armor's okay. I mean, to be fair, we're probably better off looking at how the armor works when we're actually in the game. But with some of the games I played on the Hydra, it's a good side scraper, and when it's angled, you can bounce quite a few rounds. You can see the roof there is very weak, so RT will penetrate quite easily. Looks like you've got some spaced armor on the sides, which is going to be quite nice. You can absorb heat rounds and stuff like that. Engine and fuel tanks in the rear of the tank, and you can see the ammo racks you've got on the rear of the turret and both sides of the hull. So yeah, without further ado, we will get into the replay where we are on Pilsen, which is a nice decent map for the Hydra. City maps are your friend with this tank. Now you can see the equipment I'm running. I've got vert stabs, gun rammer and vents on this, just to improve the gun handling overall. I've got born leader, rapid reload, sixth sense, steady aim, situational awareness, snapshot, trap mechanic, off-road driving and run and gun. Again, predominantly heavy tank sort of mix to improve the gun handling as best as possible, because like all Russian heavy tanks, they are very, very, very troll. So on Pilsen, I'm moving up the 1-2 line here because I want to get some shots onto these enemy tanks that are advancing here, which are the Chinese rocket tanks that have recently come out, the BZs. And I'm going to try and see if I can get some shots off. So yeah, like we've mentioned, city maps are the best sort of type of maps for the Hydra naturally. There's lots of stuff that you can side scrape off, and like I say, in the few games, I mean, to be fair, today was sort of the first time I'd actually played the Hydra. I had it for a while, can't remember how. I think I won it in a crate or something like that. But yeah, took it out for some few games, and do you know what, the number of games that I played in it, it's not that bad. The gun, I'm not gonna lie, will probably drive me insane if I'd sort of played this in sort of for a couple of hours. Again, being Russian is quite troll, but it does slap really hard. And yeah, like I say, angling this armor, you can get some bounces, some decent bounces off that upper plate. Had a game earlier where sort of I was bottom tier, managed to sort of bounce a Highlander sort of a couple of times. So just by angling sort of the upper plate, and you can see there, just angling, just keeping your armor to a position where they're naturally just going to bounce. Obviously, these guys are firing HE, so it's just bits of splash damage there, but I'm not fast. I'll quite happily have people sort of firing HE at me if they're just doing you know, sort of 33 damage a time. Artillery is trying to aim at us, but we're just sort of again rocking backwards and forwards, keeping my eye on that medium tank that's on the corner there, but equally want to start getting some shots into these heavy tanks. Punch through the Lioness there, you know, just damaging his Armour. The T-44 tries poking, but you know, just decides not to poke. We get another shot through the Lioness there. Its upper plate is not going to be able to sort of deflect any of the shots that we put in there. And now we're going to try and see if we can finish off this Lioness, and unfortunately bounce the upper plate there. Been punching it sort of twice and yet the kill shot bounces. Sod's law. Now this game is running away quite quickly, and this is the problem with the with games like this is you know, like any tank that sort of suffers with accuracy issues there, surprised we even sort of managed to hit that target on the move, is when the games run away quite quickly, you know, if you're sort of needing to aim your shots, you're going to find yourself sort of missing or bouncing shots more because you're trying to rush those shots in. But unfortunately, there's nothing really you can do about that. That's just the way the games pan out. And you know, if the games do start running away, then you know, all you can do is just kind of hit and hope, really, and just hope that your shots sort of penetrate. Now we've got the majority of our hit points. The game's sort of gathering pace now, so I just sort of decided to push right into these tanks and get sort of quite, you know, start brawling with them essentially. And the Hydra is quite good at that. You know, it can sort of get up close to tank. I mean, you know, these 6s and 7s aren't really going to stand much of a chance. And like I say, we've been bouncing shots. We get unlucky there with a bounce off of that tier 7 check tank. It was just sort of angling enough for us to ricochet off his side. We get a nice shot into artillery there. You're going to try and see if we can finish off the Tiger 2, but it looks like he's going to get shut down. And both tanks do get shut down there, and we finish the game. So a bit of a quick game, and it wasn't you know, wasn't an absolute wow game, but I just wanted to sort of get a video out on the Hydra to kind of showcase it. Basically, you can see the amount of silver we made there. Made just over 100, well, just under 180k. Got the second class, 1 kill, 4.2k damage, no assist. Like I say, an average game really for the Hydra, but it was, you know, one that I just sort of it was enough for me to think, I'll put that on the channel just to showcase it. So going into round 2, then we've got the Earthshaker, which is the cold steel tank. One of the cold steel tanks on sale. And looking at the stats there, you can see we've got top forward speed of 50 kilometers an hour with top reverse speed of 20. You have got an internal fire chance of 20% there. You've got 1450 hit points. You have steel concealment of 342 meters with a view range with my setup on 512 meters, so decent view range there. You're running a 105mm gun, and with that you've got 10 degrees of gun depression. You've got just under 9-second reload, 0.29 accuracy, 1.85 accuracy during movement, 2.12 second aim time. You have APCR and HESH rounds on this gun, and you've got 236mm of penetration on your standard rounds, with 210mm on your HESH. Your armor damage is about 390 on your standard, with 480 average on your HESH rounds. And you do just under 1300 meters per second with your standard rounds, and 1173 on your HESH rounds. And you can see there Commander XP is, you know, potential 175% there, with 150% on your silver earnings. So it's, yeah, it's a great crew trainer, this tank, one of the best ones in the game. Looking at the armor, you can just see it's got, you know, has got that real good turret armor there. The cupola can get hit, so you do have to be careful of that. And yeah, the hull is a bit squishy. Again, if you angled, you can get some lucky bounces, but you know, the main thing here is the, you know, getting the gun depression right down to that 10 degrees, so you can just sort of poke your turret and bounce shots off of your turret. Now the engine fuel tanks are in the back naturally, and yeah, like I say, this thing does have a high sort of percentage of being set on fire, and the ammo rack is in the front and on the floor pan. So again, it's another thing where the ammo rack can be sort of quite easily hit when sort of tanks go through your front. Something to sort of again bear in mind, keeping the tank hull down. So the equipment I run on this tank is I've got optics, gun rammer, and vert stabs. I'm running born leader, rapid reload, 6th sense, camouflage expertise, steady aim, situational awareness, snapshot, trap mechanic, and run and gun on the perks here. So the map we're on is Duke La Pass, and I'm gonna go up to sort of the brawl spot here, down in the corner of H9, J9 area, and you know, there's some ridges there that I can actually play hold down. You know, it's usually where you get a lot of enemy activity, and see there's quite a few heavy tanks in this game. So my thought process is naturally they are sort of going to end up brawling around this corner here, which gives me the opportunity to yeah, get into the action and try and get some shots off as best as possible. Obviously, one thing to mention with the Earthshaker, like any tanks that are running sort of Hesh as their premium shells, is you need to make sure you aim your shots in with the Hesh to get the maximum amount of damage that you can out of the Hesh. Yeah, if you're firing into the side of tanks, most of the time you're going to find that the Hesh just absorbs into the tracks, and spaced armor is a bit of a problem as well. So yeah, you will only end up doing splash damage, you won't penetrate fully, so that can be a problem. So you need to bear that in mind. Yeah, I prefer, you know, for me, I think it's most preferred to use your Hesh rounds when you're sort of aiming at sort of lower plates and the rear of tanks and stuff like that, because you know it's going to be a guaranteed pen. So yeah, lower plates, just if you got sort of lower plates of tanks or cupolas, then you know you're going to penetrate quite easily. Then that's the time, I think, to load up the Hesh. So we've come up and you can see there's some targets already that we can try and get shots at. We tried getting a shot into that dreadnought, but unfortunately it bounced to pick up a tiny bit of assistance. And I'm just using this ridge line in front of me just to keep hold down. I'm going to poke up again, try and see if I can get another shot into the dreadnought, but that Panther just sort of pulls back and he's a one shot, so I think, right, well, we'll get rid of that tank. Now we're going to try and go for the dreadnought. Managed to get a shot into that turret, and you know, the dreadnought misses me, luckily. And again, just going to try and rinse and repeat here, keeping an eye, just making sure there's nothing to my right. Also got artillery sort of firing in this area. It's not firing directly on me, but again, something I need to be careful of. Dreadnought pokes up, but then sort of just backs off. I'm just being cautious here because I don't want to sort of rush in and, you know, potentially throw my hit points away. I want to just, I think the main thing is try and get rid of that dreadnought, and that dreadnought has just been taken up by artillery. I think sort of possibly waiting for the dreadnought to get taken out there. Now we see this tank destroyer that's been lit up, and he just goes blind, and we do manage to squeeze a shot into that tank destroyer. He then gets relit and taken out. And yeah, as a team, we're not doing too bad. We're controlling this corner quite well. We've racked up quite a bit of assists here as well, which is good. And yeah, but we need to sort of move on here. However, this tank in front of us has just been taken up by their enemy Earthshaker. And now the scores are even. We've got artillery aiming at us. And again, it's just sort of becoming a game of patience here. Now, the Earthshaker used to have quite bad mobility, and I can't recall it being buffed, to be honest. I know there was a few buffs this tank got, one of them being sort of the gun, its accuracy and reload got a slight buff. I can't recall if there was buffs to the terrain resistances or anything like that, but you know, it's not too bad. It's not a quick medium by any means. It can be a bit sluggish at times, but you know, it's good enough. It's good enough. So yeah, like I say, it's not too bad. We get a nice shot into that medium tank that's crossing the other side there. Again, we sort of paid attention to the rear, and we're sort of realising that, you know, perhaps our rear guard is starting to fall now. Now, this Earthshaker is a one-shot. I'm going to try and see if I can sneak a shot in here. Just line up the shot, and we do get the shot there, picking up our second kill of the game. Just under 2k damage with 1700 assist. Then this light tank comes in and immediately get a shot in and take that guy out. Now we might even be able to get the kill shot on this T-34-3. He's now down to a one shot. I'm just waiting for the reload to come off, and there we go. We sneak the shot in, picking up our 4th kill. So we racked up a couple of kills in quick succession there, turning the game a little bit on its head here, and bringing it back into our favour, because there was a bit of a worry there that we were going to lose the rear. Now I'm moving in the rear here because I'm pretty sure there's still some tanks, or there's a heavy tank left over here, and I want to help out our friendly heavy tank if possible. There we go. You can see the heavy tank there. It's got a good amount of health as well. He takes out our friendly heavy tank. We get a shot. Unfortunately, it just hits the track there, which is really frustrating. There's poor aiming on my part. If I just aimed a little bit higher, could have got a bit of damage, but we do get the kill shot there, picking up our 5th kill of the game. There's 3 tanks left, one of them being this enemy Jagdpanther, who's just taken out our TL1PC. Again, another shot that goes into the track. Guns being a little bit troll in this game, but not to worry, we've still got all our hit points, and we're gonna move in, and we're gonna hopefully get the kill shot here, just lining up the shot. There we go, picking up our 6th kill of the game, and we're up to 2.4k damage with just over 1700 assists, and the last artillery gets taken out there, and that brings us an end to the replay. So come top of the board there with 6 kills, just under 2.5k damage, just over 1700 assist. Picking up the ace tanker. It's quite a sort of low damage game there for an ace tanker, but you know, an ace all the same, we'll take it. And yeah, so winner of sort of my review on this tank, or these tanks, I would say is definitely the Earthshaker. For me, I do get on really well with it. It is a good tank. Personally, I think the Hydra is very good. I don't think you can go wrong too much with the Hydra, but for me, my personal favourite is the Earthshaker out of the two. So, like I say, guys, they are both available in the store at the moment. So, if you are interested, they are available for 50 million silver, round about between 10 and 12k gold, or you can buy them for roughly around 250,000 free XP. So there we go, guys. That is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe, because it does help the channel. And by all means, leave a comment. Let me know if you've got these tanks, how you get on with them. And yeah, as always, guys, I will catch you next time.